Hello everyone, myself Dr. S. Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology. So in this session, we are going to discuss about the flexible manufacturing system, the elements, benefits and layouts. So flexible manufacturing system, shortly called FMS. So it is a highly automated workstations which are interconnected with material handling and retrieval system along with the computer control system. So it relies of a principle of group technology, and we can define the flexible manufacturing system as the system that consists of numerous programmable machine tools like CNC, which are connected by an automated material handling system. So normally flexible manufacturing system contains a number of workstations similar to CNC machine tools, so which are very much useful for manufacturing operations. And now we can see the different parts of flexible manufacturing system here, starting from loading and unloading stations from the raw material storage. We can move the particle or the product semi-finished goods through the conveyors and AGVs, which are automated guided vehicle. So the path which are connected by the automated guided vehicle 1 and 2, which encloses all workstations from first to last. Here we can find the tool changer for each and every workstations. Accordingly, we can change the operations. So flexible manufacturing system, which comprising of different workstations, which is helpful for simultaneously changing the style of part variety and operations. So here the tool changer and indexing tables, which are located near to workstations, which are helpful for changing the tools and the tool positions. And at the end we have a computer control for controlling all the activities of workstations, material handling system and the processing stations. Now the system is called flexible. Why it is called flexible system? So the name itself, the processing of a variety of different parts during the manufacturing, which are simultaneously in different workstations, which are the mix of part styles and quantities of different quantities of productions, which can be adjusted in response to the demand. And there are capabilities of flexible manufacturing system. The first one is identify and the distinguish among the parts. So identification of the different part styles and differentiating the part styles is that one of the capability of FMS system. And second one is quick changeover from the part variety and the operating instructions. And third one is changeover in the physical setup. So according to the requirement, we can change the entire setup of the processing stations, and also we can change the product route, that is a process from one to last one. And there are different elements of flexible manufacturing systems where we can find different components like NC machine tools, CNC machines, then robots, gantry loaders, palletizing systems, washing station, tool presetter, assembly workstation, forging station, in-process inspection systems. Here the numerically controlled system is the heart of the FMS system, which is mainly used for programming the different profiles for the required geometry, and the robots may be used for fixing the tools and changing the tool positions accordingly, and for the process. The gantry loaders are used for loading the tools and the products from one station to another stations. And palletizing system is temporary storage, which are used for both material and the tools. Washing stations, then tool presetters, the tool presetters are the equipment or the component which among the workstations used for setting up of tool which is prior to the process. That is for tool presetter. Then assembly workstations where we can find different assembly, sub-assembly and main assembly. In sub-assembly workstations there may be number of robots which are used for assembling the small components of the product, and finally main assembly we can get the entire product, and last one forging stations, and in between we can have a quality check in the inspection stations. Next one is the second component is automated material handling and retrieval system or a storage, and here the main objective of the system or the component is to transport the part from one station to another station. So that is for material handling. It may be semi-finished goods or assembly, sub-assembly goods or raw material, and between the processing stations sometimes it may be of used for temporary storage. And there are some functions for automated material handling system, and random and independent movement of work parts between the workstations. So in one workflow we can modify the route of the material handling system randomly. Accordingly the system can capture all the routes and independently move from one location to another location. Then handling of a variety of parts depends on the part styles and product mix. And third one, it acts as a temporary storage system and convenient access for loading and unloading of work parts, and it is compatible for the work process and workstation components. Then third component of FMS is computer control system, where it can coordinate all the activities of the processing stations and the material handling system. So the main parts or the functions of this computer control system are control of each workstations. It may be of CNC machines or workstations or washing stations or assembly section, whatever it may be. It can control the activities of entire workstation. Then distribution of some instructions to the specific workstation or to the entire workstation according to the requirement. Then production control, so it can control the entire production of the system. And fourth one is work handling system and monitoring. Then last one, system performance monitoring and reporting. So for every process this computer control system can have a log where the process starts, where it ends, and when to start the tool 1 and when to stop the tool 1. Accordingly we can have the log, the data log, which are stored in the computer control. So this is the third one. And next one is flexibility. So the name itself, the flexibility in the sense, we can define it as the depends on the requirement we can accommodate the changes. That is a flexibility. So now we can have three different flexibility which comes under manufacturing. First one is basic flexibility. In basic flexibility we can have machine flexibility, material handling, then operation flexibility. So machine flexibility in the sense, the flexibility in the machine which can process the various operations. Suppose if you accommodate one particular machine for particular or specific operations, during the flexible time we can make use of those machines for next operations. So that is machine flexibility. Material handling flexibility is a measure of ease with which the different part types can be transported and properly positioned at various machine tools. So it can be used for making ease of different part types for transportations. Operation flexibility, it is an alternative method or a process which is used for sequence of operations. After completing one process or one product or assembly, we can move on to next one. Then moving further, we have system flexibility. Under the system flexibility, we have volume flexibility, expansion flexibility, routing, process and product flexibility. So first we concentrate on volume flexibility. So the volume flexibility is the system capability of workstation or a particular machine tool to be operated profitably at a different volume of existing parts. So this is a volume flexibility. One machine tool can operate for a particular time period with a maximum number of products or a process. So that is volume flexibility. Then expansion flexibility. So the existing system of the machine tool can accommodate the changes or upgradation in the existing system in order to make a different geometry or a different part of the product. So that is expansion flexibility. And routing flexibility, it is a measure of alternative path which are determined to ease the system flow. So which can be accommodated here in a routing flexibility. It is based on a process plan where we initially in the process of defining the part with a different process. So that the process plan will guide the route. Then process flexibility. So some component or a product can have different process. There may be certain order. The process 1, process 2, process 3 like that. And here process flexibility, we may have flexibility in setting up of different volume of part types. Can produce without disturbing the setup, existing setup. So that is process flexibility. And last one is product flexibility. So the volume of setup parts, it can be manufactured in a system with minor setup. So it may be of a small change in the existing system. The system can accommodate the change. And next one is aggregate flexibility. So under the aggregate flexibility, we have program flexibility, production flexibility and market flexibility. So under program flexibility, here the ability of the system which can be used to run the reasonably for long periods. So it depends on the time. So here we cannot intervene externally for this system. And next one, production flexibility. Here the volume of different set of parts can be produced without major investment. So we can make use of the earlier or existing system to make the product. And here we cannot expect or we cannot invest maximum capital to the system, existing system. Then market flexibility. So this is very much important. Day by day there may be some upgradations or changes in the existing system, in the geometry or the shape or the topology of the products. So the market flexibility, it can access the change or adapt the change according to the small change in the profile or the program like that. So it can accommodate the changes according to the market situations. And next one is layout of flexible manufacturing system. Here we have 5 different layouts. So one is line layout or progressive layout, and next one loop layout, third one ladder layout, then open field type and robot centered type. Here all the 5 layouts are specifically used for different applications. We will see one by one. The first one is line type layout or progressive layout. So we can see the sketch. Here we can accommodate different workstations from loading to unloading station. A series of machine tools are available here. So machine tool 1 is used for a particular operation, and machine tool 2 is used for the second operation, and machine tool 3 is for another operations. So here semi-finished part or a component or a product is moving in a line. So it is called line type layout. Here the part progress from one workstation to another workstations. Without completing the first process, it cannot move to second one. So that is one of the disadvantage. It is a well-defined sequence of the system or layout. So here the work always flows in a unidirectional path. It cannot move back again to finish the existing process. It is a one-way path. After finishing the first path, workstation or work process, then it can move to second one. So like that it will move. The next one is loop type layout. Here we can see the sketch. So the workstations are connected in a loop, in a circular manner, wherein we can have different machine tools which may be used for doing different machining operations. So here the loading and unloading stations, from those stations the product materials are loaded and it can move to the machine tool 1, either machine tool 2. Both are possible. So that is why it is called loop type layout. So the parts usually move in one direction around the loop, but with the capability to stop, and it may be transferred to any other station during the process. So that is one of the advantage in loop type layout. We can move the product or semi-finished product whenever required. It may be moved back. And the loading and unloading stations are typically located at one end of the loop. So accordingly we can complete the process. And next one is ladder type layout. Here we can see these system, flexible manufacturing system components are arranged like a ladder. So the configuration is very much useful for loading and unloading of any semi-finished goods or products which are typically located at the same end. We cannot have a different type of the process, and the sequence of operations and transfer of parts from one machine tool to another machine tool is of a ladder steps. So accordingly we will move the product from one machine tool to another machine tool. Thank you.